Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar, Analyze and Automate Your Data Collection, brought to you by HiQA. I'm Lisa Sterling, your host and moderator for today's session. But before we get started, I would like to mention a couple of housekeeping items. We invite you to ask questions throughout the presentation by typing in your Q&A tab at the bottom of your screen, as your phone is muted during the session. We will address the questions received at the end of the presentation. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be available for playback in a few days. I would now like to introduce you to our presenter for today, Rob Edmonds, Regional Sales Director for HiQA. And with that, I will turn the floor over to Rob to get started.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it. And thank you, everyone, for attending today's webinar. Today, we're going to focus on who is HiQA and what do we do, how to plan a job 5 times faster, how to automate manufacturing quality data collection and speed up analysis by 75% or more, how to collaborate internally with quality management systems, how to collaborate externally with supplier quality management systems. A little bit about HiQA. We have over 1,300 customers on 5 continents, over 20,000 users worldwide. Our focus is on data security. It really is at the nucleus of everything we do. And with that, we utilize a collaboration mindset to break down walls between quality and manufacturing. Lastly, we have a customer-driven culture. Our customers' success is our success. HiQA is reimagining manufacturing quality. Our unified platform helps you win more business by simplifying and automating your manufacturing quality, both internally and throughout your supply chain. HiQA's vision is to simplify and automate manufacturing quality. Our mission, on time, on budget, and on quality. Our values, innovation, integrity, and teamwork. Why HiQA? Well, take a look at our customers and what they say. I think there's a common theme here. One, how about saving some time? How about saving money? How about being able to produce reports faster, which again allows you to get product out the door faster, which means more revenue. And with that, even more capacity, the ability to win more contracts. HiQA 360 is an all-in-one manufacturing quality suite that optimizes your quality planning, inspecting, and reporting with intuitive tools that help your teams deliver high-quality parts on time, on quality, and on budget. Today's focus on production and data analysis is one key element within our database-driven solution. At the core of our product is a database where everything is saved within the HiQA system. Let's start with our dashboards. As a quality leader, you have a bird's eye view of all the products you are working on. Personalized dashboards are available for each user based on their role in the team. For example, here I can see that I'm responsible for reviewing 2 NCRs and 5 FAIs that are assigned to me. Let's start at the beginning with a brand new part. Whether starting with a 3D model or a 2D drawing, you plan your quality with intentionality. With one click, you can automatically balloon and extract quality requirements, add depth and detail to inspection plans in minutes by assigning gauge categories, criticality, SPC target metrics, and even assign operation steps. Production and data collection. So we're going to look at collecting inspection data, collaborate with data and analytics to avoid quality defects, SPC monitoring, alerts and notifications, as well as gauge management. Setting the stage for the webinar. So we've planned for what we want. We've built this inspection plan with a balloon drawing. We've pushed this plan down to the shop floor, and we want to collect data. The purpose of collecting inspection data is to be able to effectively see a complete set for any given sample on the shop floor. We can see failed results. We can see all passing results. We can click and see what was going on with that failed result and look into it. Who inspected it? What gauge was used? And so on. We can see if we go to our reporting, for example, in an AS9102 report, we can get all of the data pulled into an AS9102, a lot inspection report, SPC reports, or other format you need for reporting. That's the advantage of collecting data into a centralized database that we have here. There are two sources of collecting that data. There are automated inspection systems like CMMs, VMMs, scanners, and so forth. With those, we can automatically import data either from files, or we can use Machine Sync, which is an automated data collection toolkit. The other source of inspection data is through manual inspections. Manual inspections are done on the shop floor. They feed off the exact same inspection plan that we just built. We can record gauges that were used, and we can input our results. We're going to clear that entry out and use it later. We can capture results here through manual inspections or through CMM inspections and pull them back into the same centralized database. There, they are in one easy to manage database. We should also mention that we collect data during any stage in the process. It can be any operation step, such as in-process inspection, final inspections, or receiving inspections. Even if I only need to collect these two dimensions on this particular operation, that's fine. We can see that on the shop floor side where those same operation steps are shown as well. Therefore, all I have to do is pick the particular operation step I'm working on and go from there. While we are collecting data from our production process, our first article process, or whichever process we're working on, there are two elements we want to be concerned with. The first is the prevention of quality issues. The second is to alert me and give me information when or if the quality issue occurs so we can address it. For prevention, we want to monitor SPC performance of any given feature. The best practice to see that is at our shop floor level SPC dashboard, which is available for any part, job, or lot. You choose your dimensions that you want to view or monitor, or even just critical features. In dimension 6, we can see that it's breaching its CPK thresholds. Yellow shows if you're into second sigma. Red if you're exceeding and going into third sigma. We can monitor control limits or spec limits. Spec limits would just be pass fail. Control limits are within degrees of deviation or how many standard deviations you are from nominal. Here we can see 30, 60, or 90 days of data points back or select custom date ranges. The goal of this dashboard is for shop floor personnel to be able to see what's going on regarding the performance of their systems over the last several data points, in this case 30, and help prevent any issue from happening before there is an out of spec feature. Returning back to the main system, we can also do a post-review analysis of any given feature in a run. For example, here are two features we're doing an analysis of to see why they didn't perform well. We can open this up and we can see every single detail on every single result. We can look into which gauge was used, see which operator was on which machine, with all our traceability information in one system. Beyond prevention, we also want to be notified of issues when they occur. To that end, there's a couple things we can do. When something fails, I need to know about it. To demonstrate, let's enter a result we know will fail. If we click Keep Failed, the inspector is immediately prompted to initiate an NCR. We can add a new NCR here. We can cite particular machines that this might have come off and where it was inspected. We can give root cause analysis, assign defect codes, we can even upload images of the defect. Now the NCR is saved, submitted, and automatically assigned to the appropriate personnel. If we go back to companies and projects, we can view our NCRs. Here we can view what's in our active NCR list and start to analyze results. We can even look up NCRs based on common defect codes and see how many NCRs we have for each one. There are system notifications that are sent out based on NCRs being generated. We can choose to be notified when a new NCR is created, who gets emailed, or when an NCR gets a new disposition or any updated status change, and again, who is notified for each element. Here's a transaction log of all notifications that were sent out. In addition to just having NCRs, you can get even further resolution on additional issues. At the job level, notifications for failed results and lot acceptance are available. Anytime somebody might delete a result, perhaps to re-enter something, you can have people alerted to those issues as well. Before we talked about prevention, here we're moving into what we do if there is a failure and different ways to be alerted to that. To clarify, these alerts are related to data coming from any source. So it could be manual inspections as well as CMM inspections. Obviously, there are no automated NCRs against CMM imported data, but you can create the NCR here. For failed or non-passing results that are collected from a CMM, we can see those under samples, including any failures that were reported back. There are a lot of failures shown here. If we go and edit our parameters, you can see the system automatically react. Now, if we click on this element, you could see which gauge or CMM that this came from, and you can create an NCR right from this feature. I will remind everyone, you do get alerts for failed results as they are entered into the system, even from a CMM. The last element here for gauge management and traceability. We feel that gauge management is a critical aspect of quality management. With fully integrated gauge management, you have full traceability of all gauge usage history within a couple of clicks. Gauge utilization is being reported on through the manual inspection interface. Here, users can enter in the specific gauge that they were using. Any CMM collected data, like what we're seeing here, is automatically assigned the gauge which was the source of the inspection data, i.e. the CMM that the data was sourced from. Whether it's manual or automated, all data gets collected back to the main system. You can see here, this data came from a particular CMM here as it was reported. Data is shown against the gauge category that was assigned for this particular feature, CMM. Thus, we have checks and balances. That feeds into the reporting side of things, as we showed earlier. The data feeds into the reports to show the gauge or CMM that was used for the inspection. For an analysis, we have this whole gauge measurement gauge library where you can see gauges that are expired and out of calibration up at the top. We can also look into a particular gauge or CMM we want. We can see every part, lot, job, what dimensions were, the requirements, what were the actuals, if something was out of spec, what the deviations were, and so forth. We can see when the inspections occurred, what the source of the inspection was, and who was it measured by. All this data is at your fingertips as part of the system and provides you robust oversight. With all your data in one secure and scalable database, generate any document you need to finalize your job, including FAI, PFMEA, Gauge R&R, SPC capability studies, and much more. Document templates are customizable and interactive so users can complete them in a live environment. What's more, every document is managed through our workflow, so you know the status of any document at any time. Now, looking back at our dashboard, we can see that we were able to approve and finalize all 5 FAIs, which we were assigned to. We've cleared through our backlog in record time, saving us time and money. Now let's take a look at one of our customers and their particular need and why they chose HiQA. So overall, their goal, keep overhead low, spend less time checking individual parts, spend more time making parts on time, on budget, on quality. So began their search for a system to manage data collection for inspection, efficiently produce PPAP submissions, run SPC, manage in-process inspections, and more. What they found, HiQA, an all-in-one database-driven quality manufacturing management system. With HiQA 360 taking care of your internal manufacturing, let's see how you can better manage your supply chain quality as well. HiQA Hub is a supplier quality management software. It leverages HiQA 360 so you can share, collaborate, manage, and monitor data with suppliers and customers from an all-in-one manufacturing-driven database with quality processes at the center. Whether your suppliers already use HiQA 360 or not, the experience is the same. Your quality requirements and part data are sent to them in real time, reducing interpretation errors. Suppliers can input measurements collected from any source, giving you visibility of production data as it occurs. They can complete submission documents so you can validate quality before parts ship. In this way, you are able to manage your suppliers collaboratively with full traceability and transparency. Let's look at an example of this. You as the buyer have just received 2 notifications. Let's check them out. We can directly open and review this incoming NCR from our supplier. In the NCR, we can see exactly which feature failed on the part. Once we're done, the workflow will notify the supplier of our disposition. Next, we can review the FAI that was submitted, digitally sign the document, and send the signed record back to the supplier. It's as if your suppliers are part of your shop floor. Both HiQA 360 and HiQA Hub are built on the most secure infrastructure available. Hosted in AWS GovCloud, your data is fully encrypted both at rest and in transit through our state-of-the-art end-to-end encryption protocols. Fully ITAR compliant, we also have built-in digital rights management, letting you manage which specific users in your network and among your suppliers can access specific content. Understanding that HiQA products fit into a larger network of software solutions running your business, we have a strong RESTful API so you can integrate with any ERP, PLM, MES, or other systems you may have. HiQA delivers enterprise-ready solutions with all the support and services you need to bring your teams to the next level. Our implementation specialists are passionate about quality and will partner with you to ensure smooth onboarding of your internal teams and your suppliers. Additionally, the HiQA Academy offers on-demand certification courses to ensure that you and your suppliers aren't just complying with your quality requirements, they're thriving with them. To wrap up, HiQA can help be your guide. HiQA 360 can be used to better collaborate internally, remove non-value added work, get all quality data in one place, and remove lates. HiQA 360 helps you plan, analyze, and report on a job up to 5 times faster. HiQA Hub can be used to better collaborate externally with suppliers and customers, remove interpretations, and reduce inspections.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rob. At this time, we'd like to open the floor for Q&A. Just a reminder, you can go ahead and type in your questions at the bottom of your screen there. There is a Q&A tab and also a chat. We did have a couple of questions come in throughout the session, so let's dive in. The first one says, it looks like part of the software you were showing was running in a browser. Is this cloud-based?
Good question. No, it's not. We are an on-premise software solution. What you saw there with our data collection side, what we call IM Explorer, IM Express, is a browser-based application. We made it to be very lightweight, which means it can, quite frankly, run on any type of device. We have some customers that like to run it on a tablet on the shop floor. So the idea was to make it extremely lightweight, easy to deploy, but it will be on your network. So it'll be an internal website for your network. Yeah, that's the scoop on that.
Okay, great. Here's another one. It says, the notifications, how are they sent?
Well, that's a good question too. So a couple different ways. It can be internal to the system, but also via email. You know, like on the gauge management side of things, a lot of our customers like to be able to notify their third-party calibration vendor, and so they can establish a more of a proactive approach. Hey, 30 or 45 days before a gauge expires, notify them so they're alerted that, hey, we need to set up a time, get you in here, get these gauges calibrated before they expire.
Okay, makes sense. Here is another one. We manage NCRs in our ERP. Can you integrate?
Oh, absolutely. So that's a common thing. A lot of companies, they want to initiate the NCR through HiQA and then pass that over to the ERP so they can do the final disposition of the NCR, or even maybe move it into a corrective action. With our RESTful API, that's the nice thing about it. We can integrate, frankly, with any kind of software that also has an API.
Perfect.
Can I jump in quickly here?
Sure.
Absolutely, Sam.
We have Sam
Thank
Golan
you.
here. He's
Yeah,
our founder.
Just to add another layer on the RESTful API, we have what we call off-the-shelf connectors, which also combine the non-conformance. So it's, when we talk about API, you need to invest some effort to connect using the API, but connectors, it's kind of like plug and play. And we are talking about ERP system like Epicor, ShopTech, and probably many others that I don't remember by heart. So kind of another layer of automation without investing time to collaborate with non-conformance.
Yeah, if you're interested in the ERP integration, just reach out to us and we'll work with you. And that was Sam Golan. He is the HiQA's CEO and founder. Thanks, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's another question. It says you mentioned AWS GovCloud. What is stored in AWS GovCloud?
That's where the hub will be hosted. So think of that as where, well, maybe Sam, you can chime in on this.
Yeah,
We can call it a conduit.
we're talking about what's going to be hosted on the cloud.
Yeah, the
Well, many-
AWS.
The AWS side of things.
The AWS, it's going to have only the data exchange, nothing stored there. It's stored at your premise as a supplier or the OEM if he's using the supply chain. So the high QA, when we call it the AWS, it's kind of like email exchange, if you will. So when you have job in transit or collaboration, that's going to be there. You're going to work through the browser if you have IQA or you don't. But nevertheless, job is done, nothing stored and stays at AWS. We are ITAR, so the company, the server, whatever it is, we don't keep customer data at all, not even at AWS. Unless you host at AWS your data, but nobody, by the way, have access, even if it's AWS managed by HighQA, you can do private hosting. Nobody can have any access to your data. Nobody, not HighQA, not AWS, no one.
Good to hear. Thank you, Sam. It looks like that's all of the questions that have been submitted. If anything comes to mind later on, feel free to reach out at any time. You can reach us at info@highqa.com. Also, www.highqa.com. You will find additional information as well as contact information there. I also did put in the chat a little link here. If you are interested in a one-on-one demonstration, we are more than happy to take the time to do that, answer any questions that you may have. You can go ahead and request it right there in that link there. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I will be sending out the recording of this if you'd like to watch the playback or share it with your colleagues. Thanks again. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.